Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, sloka 17. In this sloka, Bhagavan says, "But those who are temperate in eating and recreation, balanced in work, and regulated in sleep, can mitigate all sorrows by practicing yoga." So, here, yoga is the union of soul with God. We realize Atma. When we realize Atma, we realize Paramatma. So that is what we get. That is the output of doing yoga. So this yoga, we feel the outcome of yoga when we do not go after bhoga. Bhoga is opposite of yoga, that is not controlling yourself. So when you are indulging in bhog, you are violating the natural laws of body, that controlling body, controlling mind, not going after. That is, when you are in bhog, you are going after the material world, not controlling mind, not controlling body, not controlling sense. So naturally your mind is not pure, your heart is not pure, and you are not able to concentrate on God. So you are not able to do meditation successfully. So you should be away from the material pleasure, you should be away from this material life, material affairs, material world. Only then you will be having that peaceful mind, pure mind, calm mind. Otherwise, whatever we do, it results in rogue only. So this is what this sloka says. So Bhagavan says, temperate in bodily activities and practicing yoga. By this we can become free from sorrows of body and mind. We never feel sorrow. We never feel sorrow of body and mind because we always think of God. Only Bhagavan is in our mind. So we don't feel anything about ourselves. That is why when you do yoga, the thoughts should not be selfish. The thoughts should be only on God. When thinking on God, naturally you do not have anything for your own self. So you always think of Loka Kshemam. You think for the welfare of all the people. So this you get it only when you keep your mind calm, when you keep your mind on God, or keep God in your thoughts. Those thoughts are occupying our mind. So when you have this pure mind, naturally you take care of your body. So how to take care of body? Bhagavan says in the previous slokas how you should take food. So the food should be neither too much nor too less. Then sleep. It should not be for long hours or it should not be very short hours. So everything has to be moderate. So when you have this moderate quantity of food and moderate quantity of hours of sleep, you are not getting, your mind does not get agitated. Mind remains calm. So this is a formula to keep our mind calm and to take care of our body. So you are taking enough food for the survival. So we are taking food for our survival. Eating food is not the main purpose of our living. We are eating for the survival. This is how we have been doing right from last year because we are in the period of Corona. So sometimes we are not able to go out because of lockdown. So whatever is available at home, you have to manage. When doctors say that, you eat what is available with you. Because if you don't, it doesn't mean that if you don't eat with so many vegetables and so many fruits, your body will be affected. No. Medically, they say no. Even if you remain without food for 2 days also, nothing will happen, they say. So this is what we do, fasting. Bhagavan says all this in this sloka. So the moderate quantity of food to be taken, moderate amount of activity to be done. Food, sleep and activity. So activity, the body is involved in that. So what is capable for us. We are doing it. Out of our own capacity, we are doing the activity. We should not remain idle. So we do activities. Our activities are related to spiritual life. So the life goes smoothly without having any feeling of sorrow. So when we follow this, we are filled with more of sattvic guna. And the schedule of food, how to take food, the two portions of food should be solid, then one portion should be liquid. The one, our stomach should be remain with gas, that is empty. In the previous sloka we discussed all this. So we should not have full. So that full means we become lethargic and we are not able to concentrate on anything, and we become lazy, and that is not good for health. So that will be affecting our meditation because we cannot concentrate on God. So Bhagavan says the regulations. He is explaining the regulations for meditation. So when we follow all this, we keep our body. We need to assure our body is calm. And when we attempt to do meditation, and Vadam, Pittam, Kabam have to be equal. Then hunger, then thirsty, then disease, then old age, death. All this can be accepted easily for us if we follow this regulation. If we understand this sloka and follow this, that's what Krishna, nothing is sorrow for us. Because this has to happen. This is very natural. So we will not be panic. We will not get fear out of all this. So everything has to be accepted because it has to take its natural course. So the mind remains calm. So till the last minute of our breath, we can concentrate on meditation. So beautifully, Bhagavan is preparing us to accept everything. And the food we prepare, that should be offered to God before we eat. Only then it is annam. Only then it is prasadam. We make so many varieties but do not offer it to God. That means that will not have any effect on us. So this particular point is very important for the people who have faith in God, those who are in spiritual path. So when we prepare for God, naturally we take more care and we prepare the food in a very hygienic way. For example, we take bath and prepare food, and we do not bite in between and spit there and do all this, because it should be prepared in a very hygienic way, because we are offering to God. So when we have that thought, we are offering to God, naturally we are very conscious of hygiene, the neatness. So the food which is prepared in such a background keeps our body healthier. So how our tradition is, our religion is teaching us to live fit, keep your body fit. Here this is about spiritual path, but still it is when you go in spiritual path, all these are taking place. So the neatness, hygienic food, and offering food to God and keeping our body fit. It's beautiful. It is very how beautifully Bhagavan is explaining all this in this chapter. So we get into the system of preparing food, and the amount of food, what to be prepared, what to be eaten, how it is to be prepared, and how it is to be offered to God, and do activities, not remaining idle, and do activities and keep our mind pure by keeping Bhagavan in this. So the Anma is in union with Paramatma. That is yoga. And we are not getting attracted towards material world. This is like a woodcutter cutting wood for long time, and a weightlifter is asking him, why are you taking long time? I will do it. Then he started doing it. He finished for 15 minutes, but after he went home, he had to call the people to give him oil massage. He developed pain in his hand, so he suffered. Whereas woodcutter, he took his own time, he completed that work, but he remained very calm. He didn't have any pain or anything. This is how. Because there should not be a feeling when I do anything, I. That woodcutter had that I feeling. So, and there should not be a competition here. What is capable for me, I can do that. Only at Bhagavan says, you do only that. In another incident where a young man, the old man used to go for jogging, and you saw a young man the previous day and he wished him. The next day the young man also wanted to join jogging, and we went fast, and he was going ahead of this old man and was saying, hi, hello. So that hello was saying, okay, I am first, conveying that message. But he was not, the old man was not perturbed. But this young man, because he went very fast, he had to take rest. So by the time he took rest, what happened? This old man went ahead of him. So this is what happened. So there should not be any I feeling in what we do. That is not considered as a good activity at all. And what is capable for me, I should do it. I should not trouble my body. That is what Bhagavan says. Don't trouble your body beyond your capacity. Do it. But what is capable, you do it. So these two simple incidents give us message. Then I thought of hare and tortoise story. When we talk to children about Bhagavad Gita and values, we can tell them the hare was very proud and it went ahead of tortoise, and it had to take rest because it ran. Whereas tortoise never took rest and never was perturbed by the way hare was running, and it was going with its own pace, but it did continuously and it reached the winning post. So this is what happens in our life, because here the hare, it had that I feeling and it looked down upon tortoise. That should not be there. So what happened? This because it troubled his body, because it wanted to show its valor, strength to tortoise, so it went running and it had to take rest. Whereas tortoise didn't do all that show, so it went as with its own pace and it achieved. So this is what Bhagavan says. Whatever we do, let it be within our capacity, but we should do the activity, and when we do it, let it not be with selfish objective. So here, when you are selfish, that selfish thoughts in mind make our body weak and you feel tired. So when body becomes tired, you cannot concentrate on meditation. So it's a beautiful message given by Bhagavan in this sloka. It was not only to Arjuna, it's to all of us. So let's follow the path shown by Bhagavan and concentrate on our body and take care of our mind, because this is the period when we have to take care of our mind, because mind is the basic cause for creating all diseases. When you are panic, we get into breathing problem and everything. So you concentrate on God, meditate on God, and leave everything to God. He is the caretaker. So believe Him and leave it to Him, surrender to Him, and do your activity. Eat well, eat moderately, and sleep well, and He takes care of us. So there is a pasuram by Tirumashai Alvar, who was very extremely good in yoga. So his pasuram, this is from Tiruchanda Vrittam. There are 108 pasurams. I am reading only one or two. ஆறு மாறு மாறு மாய் ஓர் ஐந்தும் ஐந்தும் ஐந்துமாய் ஏறு சீர் இரண்டு மூன்றும் ஏழு மாறு மெட்டுமாய் வேறு வேறு ஞானமாகி மெய்யினோடு பொய்யுமாய் ஊரோடு ஆசையாய ஐந்தும் மாய ஆய மாயனே ஐந்தும் ஐந்தும் ஐந்துமாகி அல்லவற்றுளாயுமாய் ஐந்து மூன்று மூன்றுமாகி நின்றவாதி தேவனே ஐந்தும் ஐந்தும் ஐந்துமாகி அந்தரனத்தணைந்து நின்று ஐந்தும் ஐந்துமாய நின்னை யாவர் காண வல்லரே. These two pasurams are very relevant to this sloka. So here he talks about Emperor Lord Vishnu, who is the leader of 6 karmas, and He is leader of 6 seasons. He is leader of 6 yagas. Then 5 Velvi, that is yagam. Then 5 Aguti. And he is leader of 5 types of Agni. And he is the one who gives us Jnanam. And he is the one who has the Parajnanam, Parabhakti, Paramabhakti. So he gives all this to us. And he has that Vivekam. And he is Vimokam, Abhyasam, Kiriyai, Kalyanam, Anavasadam, Anuttasham. All these are qualities, the divine qualities. He has all these qualities and he has that energy, he has that strength, he has that jnanam, knowledge, and he has got that treasure, that Aishwaryam, and he has got tejas. So he is a leader of 6 gunas and he is beyond all these papas and he is beyond death, he is beyond old age, he is beyond sorrow, he is beyond hunger, he is beyond thirsty, and he has got all the qualities and he is the one who gives us all good qualities and he is the one who creates Jnana Marga and he is the one who is true. He is the he is eternal, he is real, and those who do not know about it, they do not know the truth. And he is the one who has got all that, that is like 5 senses. And he is a Mayavan. Mayavan means he is the one who was born in, Mayavan is Krishna. He is the one who was born in Gokula. So in this Pasuram, this Alvar is praising God. And he is the one who gives all this. So with that jnanam only with that knowledge only, we can do meditation. We understand him, we realize him, and we enjoy the divine qualities of Bhagavan and we meditate on him. So to keep him in our mind, we should enjoy the qualities of Bhagavan. We should enjoy his Rupam, we should enjoy his namas. So let's follow all this. These Alvars, they lived their lives and they expressed the experiences they had through Pasurams. It's a treasure for us.